EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. From the cliffs at Lighthouse Point, opening round coverage of the Maine Classic. This is going to be a compelling 4 days of golf. A lot of storylines to follow as we move through the weekend, and we take a look at the leaderboard here in round one. We've got a tie at the very top at 9 under par. Meanwhile, our featured golfer in good form coming into this one fresh off a victory a week ago. So Frank, the PGA Tour season really starting to get interesting now. Of course, we still have the Open Championship to look forward to, but after that, not a whole lot remains until the start of the playoffs in Memphis.
Yeah, apart from that trip across the pond, we're going to be stateside the rest of the season. And it's weird. I know a season looks long on paper, but, the weeks just fly by. And the quality of golf we've seen this year has just been absolutely spectacular. And I think we're going to finish strong. I really do. I think there might be something special. Maybe some sub-60s to close the year, but I'm really looking forward to those playoffs.
And there's a good start. That one in the fairway here to get the tournament rolling. So starting off the round here with a lengthy putt. A chance to really start this round with a bang. A long look here at birdie. Oh, I can't tell you how good that is to get it to stop where it did from that far away. That is a super putt. Well done. That is in for a par here at the first, and he'll stay at even par. Now at the second hole here at Lighthouse, it's a par 3, 234 yards. Difficult hole, Frank, especially when the wind picks up.
It is, and you can see with that bunker on the right side, that's obviously the bailout area because the problem side is to the left of this green. That's where the cliff starts to run all the way down to the ocean. This is a very difficult par 3, not just because of its length, but because it's exposed to all of Maine's elements.
That is a good, sensible shot right there. Gives him a good look at birdie. 8-foot putt here. Yeah, well done. It's a birdie here at the second. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Novelo back with you at the third hole here at the Cliffs. And this is a hole that offers up a chance to put a red number on the board, Frank.
It certainly does. A good drive finding this very narrow fairway will certainly give you the opportunity to reach the green in two. Stray a little left, either with the drive or the second, and all of a sudden you might realize this par 5 has teeth.
And that one too close to the edge, and it's going to wind up falling into the bunker. Want to make sure you catch this cleanly. His second to the par 5. Has to be thrilled with that second shot here to the par 5. Frank got everything out of that.
Yeah, did well just to advance the ball so far down the fairway. And now a fairly straightforward third shot. Two good shots on this par 5, leaves that simple little chip, and that was beautifully played.
Nicely done. Things looking good early. That's birdies at 2 and 3. Well, here at the par 4 fourth, 411 yards, Frank, this is the kind of hole where you want to pull out the cell phone and maybe take a few pictures because the views are absolutely amazing.
And you also see why this golf course is called the Cliffs. That's for sure. Great vistas. This front nine completely lines the coast, so you're going to need to keep it fairly straight on this golf course. This hole in particular, though, the fairway is actually rather generous, so you do get a little bit of reprieve off the tee. And you really want to hit the fairway because that green is very tiny, Rich.
Uh-oh, this is well left. No fairway here, this one in that rough. Walking the course today, let's bring in Nota Begay the third.
102 to the hole, coming off a birdie on the previous, looking for 2 in a row.
It's tough to take an extra club out of that lie, Rich, because it's always in the back of your mind. If you hit it properly, it's going to email the green.
Gave that one everything he had. I mean, really gouged it, and still, it was short. And this will be a 5-foot putt here. That's in. It is a good par here at number 4. And he'll stay at 2 under. 5th hole now at Lighthouse Point. Frank, it's a beefy par 4.
Another hole without any fairway bunkers off the tee, but really the main defence here at the Cliffs is the elements. Find the fairway, and you'll also be hitting to a green which is protected by a little bunker to the right side of that, and short. So precision, once again, required here. And that tee shot finds the first cut. But really, with that second shot, shouldn't be too much of a problem.
Second shot now from just a foot or two off the fairway. Look here at birdie.
And this doesn't look too complicated at all. I don't think he needs to give away the hole. This is pretty straight on.
The pace, absolutely perfect there. Down the slope, it's in for a birdie. Now at the 6th hole, it's a par 3, just under 200 yards. Where's the challenge here, Frank?
Well, you've got to love that bunker on the left side, Rich, especially because it's shaped like a letter L. Got to fly that. Green's not too deep, so really the challenge is trying to flight that ball in amongst the breeze should it kick up.
Boy, that wind really knocked that one down. Not even going to reach the green. Now, from the apron, second to the par 3. Nicely read there. It is a par here at the 6th, and he'll stay at -3. Par 4 7th here at Lighthouse Point is only 370 yards. Frank, are you unhappy if you walk out of here with anything other than a birdie?
I think we'll see all sorts of different scores here, Rich. If you hit the fairway, then obviously you're definitely going to be looking at birdie. But you stray or hit the wrong club off the tee, that's really what this hole's about. It's about club selection. You could hit a multitude of clubs off this tee.
Just what you want at this point in the round. You're trying to find a rhythm, hit fairways, hit the middle of the club face. That's what they did right there. Well, had a good lie in the fairway, but couldn't do anything with it. That comes up woefully short.
Job was made harder by the second shot coming up short, but excellent use of the flop shot and a chance to escape with a par.
That one finished off. It'll be a par here at 7. And he'll remain right where he is. Well, a bit unusual. A third par 3 now on this front side. We're at the 8th. It's 165 yards, Frank.
And this par 3 looks nothing like the previous two. Heads towards the edge of the cliff there. Long green, almost a figure 8 or an hourglass shape. Bunkers left and right. Gonna have to be straight here.
Yeah, that's a good spot to be on the front portion of the green with a birdie putt coming up. Iona's down there. She's had a good look. This for birdie.
Well, for a long putt like this, there's really not a whole lot to it. I think you'll fancy his chances at this one.
Okay, good roll there. It is a par here at the 8th, and he'll stay right where he is. We move to the 9th hole, and we begin to go inland, Frank. I'll miss some of the views along the ocean. I won't miss the nerves with the potential of a golf ball sailing off into the Atlantic Ocean. That said, par 5, you think about a scoring opportunity, but then I look at the scorecard, and it says this is the number 6 handicap hole. That's pretty tough.
It is, and the reason why is there's trouble both sides of this fairway, and that's normally sand and cliffs, and the designer's really thrown the boat out, excuse the pun. We are on the coastline here. This whole dog legs to the left, and ideally you just sort of like to go fairway, fairway pitch. That's the prudent way to play the hole, but of course everybody likes to chance the driver and reach the par 5 and 2. Miss, pay the price. I dare say a touch too aggressive, trying to fly it all the way and expect it to hold. It is very ambitious. Look what's happened.
Not quite on in 2. Here's the 3rd from the greenside bunker. All right, not exactly what you're hoping for, but safely on the putting surface with birdie still in play. Oh, that one read perfectly. It is a birdie here at the 9th, and that will be a sizzling 31 on the front side, 4 under par. Frank, you think about the great designers, Pete Dye, Alistair McKenzie, and Christian Brandt is certainly in that conversation. They like to play mind games with you, and you're playing with people's heads when you look at that number on the card versus the 10th hole.
Yeah, 10th hole, which is par 4, plays a lot longer than 11, but it's a very clever hole. It's called what we call a tweener. It's in between a 4 and a 5, so if you walk away with here with 5, you feel like you've lost something. Walk away with 4, you feel like you've gained something. So the great par 5s are often reachable. 11, that's one of them.
And this one's only 530 yards as a par 5, and remember 10 was a par 4 at 592. Is starting up the right side. Boy, a good round going here on this Thursday, and that another fine effort off the tee. Now Noda, his second from the fairway.
He's looking at 141 yards to the front, 144 to the flagstick, swinging it great today. Would not surprise me if he stuck it close.
And here at the 10th, with the iron in hand, and hits it stone cold close.
Should make this about 80% of the time. It's for birdie. Okay, well done. A couple of birdies here sandwiched around the turn at 9 and 10. Now we go to the 11th hole, and this is a par 5, but it's actually shorter than the par 4 10th. This one comes in at 530 yards, and more evidence of the kind of creativity by the award-winning design team of Patel and Duncan.
Well, that's right. Patel really is known to be the shaper. He's the one that makes all those interesting shapes of the bunkers. For example, here, nipping it in the fairway, making driver almost too much club, or very, very risky, plus the front bunker there. Now, this is a great par 5. The reason why, it's reachable, it's tempting, but you don't know what you're going to finish up shooting on it.
Boy, the rhythm is definitely there today. Another wonderful tee shot.
Good second shot. That last bounce, a little unlucky, but still that third shot sits up rather nicely into this par 5.
Nothing wrong with that. Inside of 5 feet. Nicely done. Now this for another birdie. Oh, how about the run here? That a third consecutive birdie. Back here now at the 12th hole, par 4, 439 yards, Frank, to the center of this green off the black tees.
And if the breeze blows left or right, this hole plays very hard. One of the reasons why, just through the fairways, littered with bunkers. So not only do you have to pick the right line, but somehow you've got to get that ball the right distance as that hole bends completely to the left. Rather interesting shaped green here at 12.
This is a stiff test, no doubt. Nope, that wasn't the right line, and he'll pay the price as this ball gonna run off the fairway and into the bunker. Well, I know I'm paid to talk, but there's not really much to say about that. Best to just move on to the next shot. Frank, that was a pretty good shot right there.
Yeah, he's done well to minimize the damage.
From about 8 feet. No missteps there. It is a par here at 12. And he'll remain at 6 under par. Now to the 13th hole, and Frank, this could make you quake in your soft spikes. 702 yards, par 5. It might should be a par 6 or a 7.
Well, I think a few people will make 6 or 7 here. You're right. This is a rarity in golf, 700 yards. So forget about any thought of even getting close to this par 5 and 2. Plus, just to add insult to injury, the 2 bunkers off the tee are perfectly placed. They're about 298 yards, smack bang in the middle of that. I doubt you can get past those, but you need a good drive, really, to try and leave yourself a short third shot.
This one's starting a little bit right. looks so simple when you're going good, doesn't it? And that is yet another solid drive. Well, just a good solid shot right there with that 3-wood, Frank.
It's an aggressive layup, really, trying to force that 3-wood down and get it as close as possible to the green. That's 2 good shots if you can't reach the par 5. It's been a beautiful round of golf today. It's been a clinic with the irons and, well, more evidence there. The swing, the strike, and look how close that is.
Confidently done there. That's in for birdie here at 13. He's going to get this to 7 under now. 2 shots off the lead. Starting the 14th hole. Okay, a little beyond the hole, but a good shot, and a birdie attempt coming up. Chance now for another birdie.
And he's seemingly had no problem with his reads all round long, so this shouldn't be too difficult.
Nope. No issues there. It is a par here at 14. And he'll stay at 7 under. '15th hole, and Frank, a return to sanity. 387 yards, par 4.
Yeah, second easiest hole on the golf course. Bends a little to the left. Just avoid the sand left and that little pot bunker on the right. And you should be set up with a relatively short iron in to a green that really the only problem is if you go long. Really starting to make a hard game look easy. Drive after drive has been superb. And this one, well, as we like to say, is in the mayor's office.
So the great tee shot left him here, now his second from relatively close range. Okay, sensible play right there, and that one on deck. This is a 13-footer. Oh, yes, a perfect putt there. It is in for birdie here at 15. And he's going to continue to crawl up the leaderboard. He's to 8 under now, one shot back. Final par 3 on the backside. It's the 16th, 241 yards. Time to make a move as we are in the finishing stretch here.
When you give the scorecard a cursory look, you might think 240-something yards is a difficult hole, but this plays quite a bit downhill, so it plays more around the 200-yard mark. A fairly generous green, protected by the bunker.
That's going to be on the putting surface, and a birdie look straight ahead. Now this for another birdie.
And he's seemingly had no problem with his reads all round long, so this shouldn't be too difficult.
This round finishing strong. Back-to-back birdies now at 15 and 16. Now at the 17th, and Frank a chance to make a birdie. Who knows, with a couple of huge pokes, you could make Eagle 3. This is a pretty stout hole at a little bit more than 600 yards.
It is, especially if that breeze comes off the water into your face. But normally you're protected here because the hills on the left will block that breeze. Bunkers all the way down the right side, you can see that. But yeah, you're right, 2 big hits, and you might just reach this par 5 and 2. Birdie, perhaps even eagle on a good day.
This one starting a little bit left. Okay, I'll be pretty happy with that one on the green and 2, but a long ways. Frank, he'll need to refocus immediately because that's not a guarantee. 2 putts from that distance.
Exactly, Rich. No time to celebrate right now. Grind on that first putt. Get it inside that magic circle. at least try and guarantee a birdie.
Chance now for another birdie. Oh, finishing strong. That's in for birdie here at 17. And he's going to surge into the lead here on day one with only the 18th left to play. We end our day here at Lighthouse Point with a par 4 18th, under 400 yards. A good chance to go after the pin if you can stay in the fairway off the tee. Ooh. Pretty good angle here, getting set for his second shot just on the right side of that fairway.
And safely on deck. That's the main thing, but from that distance, you really don't want to leave yourself like a knee knocker, like a 4 or 5 footer. So this first putt's going to have to be good.
Oh yeah, bottom of the barrel for birdie here at 18. And that's going to be an opening round of 61. Superb. So for the golfer we watched today, Frank, all smiles after the round, a leader by 2.
You're not going to win on the first day, Rich, but that's a great start, and it will be interesting to see if they can go the whole way.
So for Frank Nobilo, Notah Begay III, Iona Stephen, and a cast of hundreds, I'm Rich Lerner. You've been watching PGA Tour Golf on EA Sports. So long, everyone.